So this is the pilot. All right. What
So
is it?
yeah, this is you should see there. It's the what America's oldest newspaper, right?
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And so
Catholic.
this is a original source that you can research. The link is there. This is their own language. This is their own words. And basically, what we're going to see. This is a first beast. Okay, these are the bishops who write these things and the cardinals who approve of these things before they write those things. So these are the princes within the church that act in behalf of, the man at the Vatican. They do this in his behalf, in his stead, at the local level. And what we're going to see here, we're going to see where they're calling one Sunday's a Sabbath, and we're working too much on Sabbath, and we need blue laws. Brothers, sisters, whenever that language is being used by the first beast of Revelation, talking about what the second beast of Revelation needs to do, the blue laws, you know what's going to happen if they're talking about this publicly and openly. And this is not an isolated incident. Let me just put a little pause here, Pastor James. This month, the United States Catholic Conference of Bishops, Catholic bishops, which is the highest authority in America for the Catholic Church. This month, we don't have the news item here, but we got it on the website. But yeah, they're calling for the need of Sunday as a day of rest for the planet. They're talking about this. So this pilot article we're going to look at, it's
Can you?
not isolated. It's not
I can. I
isolated.
can. I can pull it up quick. Where you say it's found? The Catholic news.
Uh, Yeah, if you just go to the website and you can read about
What's the
type in a
website?
search, you type in a search engine USCCB, that's the United States Conference on Catholic Bishops, and it's the first article that pops up.
Got you.
Okay, now you can read what does that headline say?
Archbishop no meat Friday. No meat Friday. Sunday rest. Good for planet. There you go.
And this is this bishop here is part of the United States Conference on Catholic Bishops. And they're saying we need Sunday. Sunday's for the planet. Sunday is good. We need Sunday rest. And then, of course, they talk about some other things, but it's kind of like they mix in Sunday with a lot of other issues, and they promote those things. If you want to read exactly what they say specifically, if you don't want to try to look for it, just back up to the article, and we kind of highlight the main points from that article itself with the bullet points there, and that's exactly what they have said this month alone with regards to Sunday.
All right, let me read part of that. This is good. All right, U.S. Bishop Conference discusses plan for the 10th anniversary of. Okay, Laudato Si. There's that thing again. Laudato Si. Pope Francis encyclical care for creation. Catholics will do well, and the environment would benefit by paying greater attention to certain pauses in their everyday lives, including a more faithful observance of Friday abstinence from meat and Sabbath rest, which they mean Sunday.
Yes.
That was the suggestion of a bishop who chairs the United States Conference of Catholic Bishop Committee on the Domestic Justice and Human Development.
Let's pause right there. That's the highest authority in the United States. And what is their mission? Their mission is to present policy positions to the US Congress. They're strategically located in Washington, D.C., to promote the Catholic agenda to our legislators. That is their mission. That is their job. And here's what they're advocating for.
Archbishop, is it Boris Godziak, together with the Bishop Elias Zaidan, chairman of the Committee of the International Justice and Peace, addressed the Bishops' Conference annual fall meeting in Baltimore, November 13th, on implementing Pope Francis 2015 encyclical on care for creation, Laudato Si. Lord have mercy. They're still pushing that stuff because creation is connected to everything human. Everything human. Our efforts around Laudato Si need not to be weighed down by many new programs and tasks. Rather, Laudato Si can be integrated into our care into our core mission of evangelization. So Laudato Si is what's being used to evangelize the world, okay, for the Catholic Church. So we
Yes.
live in a world of constant work and stimulation with ever present phones, screens, and gadgets. In essence, our world does not rest and struggle with leisure. Okay. Christian care for creation is nourished by Sabbath precept of rest for the land.
Rest for who?
For the
For
land.
who?
For the
My
land.
brother. You know what that prophetically what that entails. The
Yeah.
land has to rest.
Correct.
Laudato Si. And obviously, Laudato Si implements the solution as the Eucharist Sunday is the answer. You know, they say Sunday, Sunday, Sunday in Laudato Si. So, yes,
But the ultimate solution for the climate change is to rest, so the land can rest, because the issue is too much work and too much gas emission. So in other words, human activity is the ultimate cause of climate issues. That's always been the blame. So the best way to rest the land and to stop climate change is so that these activities must come to an end. And that's why they they want to keep you in your home all day. Forgiveness, restoration, festivity, and freedom. Our hyperreactive world yearns for the Sabbath, does it? Which is expressed in the Sunday Eucharist when the Lord makes all things new. That's the problem. Yeah, I would agree that our world needs the Sabbath. I would say every person needs a Sabbath, the seventh day Sabbath. But they
yes,
give you that spin. There is that, that 649 just happened right here.
yes.
So they introduce you a different day instead of the one that God has given us. This is idolatry.
And this is intentional too. And Rome is intentionally pushing to make Sunday the day of rest, not just in America, but throughout the rest of the world. And if you look at if we go back to our slide, you're going to see that they're not just advocating for rest, they're saying blue laws. Blue laws.
Being
That's
specific.
what they're calling for. Yes, go ahead. You can reach some of those points.
Oh,
Or
while you actually, I got a short video that's gonna fall perfectly in line with this.
okay,
Yet, it is so easy to resist this plan. Sundays, it seems, have become just as hectic as the other 6 days of the week. Stores bustles with shoppers. Work emails are sent and received. Online orders are filled and delivery trucks browse the neighborhoods. The early morning lawns mowers and string trimmers breaks the.
they're talking about Brother Andy mowing his lawn again on
They're
Sunday.
coming out.
That's
They're
that's
coming after me too. And the peace of quiet streets, while Sunday traffic jams rival those of weekdays. Wow.
go to the next slide. Here comes. You ready for the voice of the dragon? Now read this.
Okay.
Read this.
Let's see what the dragon has to say once again. We are told it is easier to look back with nostalgia at the time when so-called blue laws slow the treadmill of life a bit and may have made it easier to keep Sunday as a day of worship and rest.
How did blue laws make it easier for people to rest on Sunday? How did that happen?
Well,
Because because it was imposed by law.
correct. They could
Because
not do anything.
the state says you have to do this or else.
It's like a mandate.
Now that word nostalgia, if you look at what it says, it means a desire, a yearning to go back to how things used to be. That's what the word nostalgia means.
Taking the nation back to God.
My brother, this is Rome having nostalgia for blue laws to come back again to
Yeah.
America to make it easier for people to worship on Sunday.
Wow, wow. The importance of a restful, prayerful Sunday may be more urgent than ever before.
My
Wow.
brother, that's Rome
That is
intentionally
so.
pushing to openly advocating to make
Come on, Moses.
Sunday the day of rest.
That's interesting. So let me show you the part of my Bible. There we go. Let's fast forward. We're gonna skip that. Uh, I do have another video UAP edit. So let me pull it up because
Well, while you look for that, let me just tell you, look at these blue laws mandated Sunday rest by the
Mhm.
power of the state.
Mm,
And that's a problem for people who love freedom, who love religion, who love liberty. You know, we love the freedoms that we inherited through much sacrifice.
yeah,
And you know,
I found
we
it.
became a refuge for the persecuted.
Correct.
But these blue laws, my brothers, this is a revival of tyranny. That's exactly what this is.
That's all it is. Yep. All right, I found it.
Yeah, we'll make that law.
Sabbath blue law.
Blue laws.
A blue law.
Blue law.
The blue laws.
Blue laws.
Sabbath laws on Sunday.
And so reaching out to the state.
Maybe the Sabbath laws.
Blue laws.
Blue laws.
Blue laws.
Sunday closing laws.
Blue laws, right?
Blue laws meant everything was closed.
The blue laws.
Blue laws.
Blue laws.
Sundays accepted.
The blue laws.
The Sunday Sabbath laws? Or blue laws.
Sabbath rest.
The Sabbath and the sacred blue laws.
Propose commerce on Sabbath.
For Sabbath laws.
I would say yes and amen. I'll vote for that.
Sabbath laws.
Blue laws.
Sabbath laws.
By attending church on Sunday.
Remember the blue laws?
Sabbath and obscenity laws. Blue laws and
A national honoring of the Lord's Day.
These laws are known as blue laws.
To remember the blue laws.
they have the blue law.
They were called blue laws.
The idea of blue laws still makes a lot of sense.
The only way to start the return to moral order in this country is by force. It's the only way. It's the only way. It has to be by force, at least for a time. We have to regulate morality by force, at least for a time. It's literally the only solution.
We really need to be really ruthless when it comes to the exercise of power.
You know what they're saying? They are basically saying that we need to discriminate against minorities in this nation in order for them to have their churches full again. That's what they're saying.
Pretty
They're
much.
advocating for discrimination. Listen, my brothers and sisters, make no mistakes. Sunday laws mandate Sunday, blue laws mandate Sunday rest, and they help to promote Sunday keeping churches. No, nobody denies that.
Mm,
And those who disobey these rest mandates, these blue laws, are subject to fines, imprisonments under, and it puts an undue burden against minorities like Jews, Seventh-day Adventists, and all those who see the seventh day as a Sabbath. It puts both an economic it's you're not just discriminating against people's religious faith, but you're discriminating against the equal playing field that should exist in a free economic system. A
mm,
Jew has to close his business on Sabbath no matter what. But then if he's forced to close on Sunday, which is a working day for him, then he has a disadvantage from his competitors who are open on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So it
mm,
gives an unfair advantage to those who advocate for Sunday because it closes on Sunday and their stores aren't open on Sunday.
mm.
So it's discrimination, and it doesn't bring peace. It doesn't bring unity. And so what they're saying is that they're talking about a great horror, a great time of tyranny that is awaiting this nation. If that trend, if those things they're talking about, if it continues, brothers, it's time for the third angel's message to be proclaimed with power because they're doing their message. We have to proclaim ours, the last message of mercy.
Amen. And I can see how we get caught up in the crosshair of that law because let me share my screen with you here, and I know you're familiar with this one. This is 605 paragraph 2, patriarchs and prophets and kings. There it is. The decree, let me make sure people can see this. There we go. The decree that will finally go forth against the remnant people of God will be very similar to that issued by Ahasuerus against the Jews. Today, the enemies of the true church see in a little company keeping the Sabbath commandment, or Mordecai at the gate. The reverence the reverence of God's people for his law is a constant rebuke to those who have cast off the fear of the Lord and are trampling on his Sabbath. So, yeah, we are glad to be identified as the Mordecai in the gate, stand in the way of Haman, so much so that Haman got upset and put a death decree against the people of God. And the same thing is going to be repeated again. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so we see that and most of those references in that video are Protestants. It's the Protestant churches that are pretty much just repeating the message of their mother, Rome. That's who receives honor. That's who benefits the most out of all of this. That's who has the most to gain from all of this is Rome. I believe you have a statement there about how the Protestant efforts are everything that they do in promoting Sunday is actually establishing the papacy. I think you have one of the slides there with
Okay.
forced religious when it becomes forced upon us.
Okay.
I don't know if it's there or the next one. It's got the image of Rome there.
Okay. Is that the one?
There it is, right there. Listen to that.
All
See
right.
all those video you showed. You see Protestants advocating for blue laws, blue laws, blue laws. There were some Catholics there, but for the most part, it's the Protestants who are advocating for that. But read this statement. Notice what Protestants are doing by saying those things.
The enforcement of Sunday keeping on the part of the Protestant churches is an enforcement of the worship of the papacy. Wow.
So make no mistake, who's the one who benefits the most from all of this? We're told that it is Rome and the Protestant churches that will unite. We're told great controversy. It says when the leading churches of the United States, page 445, shall unite. See, there's got to be a union, a convergence, and not just the churches, the labor unions. We saw that with the labor unions. We're seeing that with the merchants of the earth, these associations of the merchants, of all the different stores. The post office, they're coming to get in that UK news item. They're all converging on one point. And according to inspiration, that statement you just read, Rome is the one who benefits from this. Rome is the one who is receiving power and influence as a result of this. Nothing is done. What evangelicals do and the Protestants are doing is not in a vacuum. It's according to a plan, and Rome is going to be on top. The daughters are only doing what the Queen Mother has told it to do. You remember Salome danced for the king?
You took it right out of my mouth. Exactly.
It was a Queen Mother who says, "Go dance so that we can get this the law."
Yeah.
We need the law, so go do some dancing. And that's exactly.
And even the daughter had no idea what she wanted in the end.
Yeah.
But the mother knew what she wanted. She had John the Baptist beheaded, which goes to show a death decree. If you were to make a parallel to that, it goes to show what the Bible says: those who do not worship the beast, the image of the beast, not only not going to be able to buy and sell, but they shall be killed. So it's nothing new under the sun. Once again.
Yes. And so, what do we do in a time like this, Pastor James? I mean, yes, the Sunday movement to a certain degree is still working its way in darkness, but it's open, it's out, it's public. How much more? How much more?
It's not in darkness anymore. Yeah.
How much more should we as Adventists, members of the remnant church, who are on this earth for one purpose, really? If you think about that, God has raised us up for one purpose,
Right.
to present truth as the wine, that wine that inebriated the king, to pass the law. It's the same wine being promoted in the political field, the economics, the tech companies, the news media. They're all being immersed and inebriated on the wine. Do we not have a work to do at this very moment? Yes.
Correct.
We're supposed to raise up the commandments of God. We're supposed to be pointing people to look to Christ and to look to Him, the Sabbath. We're supposed to worship God. Let's look at one of these other slides. I want you to notice how they have pretty much hijacked the three angels' messages, and they're using what God has given to promote the seventh-day Sabbath. I want to show you No, we got to go back one more. I want to show you. Yes, right there.
Okay.
I want you to read this. This is another article from the same Catholic news source.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same bishops,
Correct.
the same princes in the princes in the Catholic Church. I want you to read what they say about Sunday here in this article.
If we must live purposeful lives, then it seems absolutely essential for us to reclaim the idea of Sabbath rest. If we are to feel peaceful, well adjusted, and dare I say it, sane.
You know what this is saying? You know what this is saying?
We
They're
are
saying that
going crazy with that.
if you don't want to be crazy, then you
Mm-hmm.
better keep Sunday. If you want your life to have purpose and meaning, then you need to keep Sunday. That's what it's saying. And if you don't, then there's something wrong with you. You have some you need some kind of therapy to heal you from
It,
your insanity.
it's
That's what
also
they're saying.
saying it's a double speak here too. It's also saying we are already sane, and the only way we can stop the insanity is by keeping Sunday. So the world is going crazy. Sunday is the solution to that.
Yeah. Read this next paragraph. In this, you're going to see how they have co-opted the three angels' messages. Read this. Read this.
Wow.
It's incredible.
Imagine Sunday as a day completely different from any other day of the week. A day to give glory to God and to worship Him. A day to get to know and care for your family and your spouse or your neighbors or your roommates better. A day to rest, to think of other worldly things.
Yeah. The first angel's message says, fear God and give glory to Him and worship Him who made the heavens and the earth and the sea. How do you worship the Creator according to the first angel's message? How do we worship the Creator?
You gotta
By
keep this up.
embracing the sign that He has given to us
Correct.
for His creation. The
Amen.
first angel's message is a call to receive the seal of the living God by keeping His seventh-day Sabbath, which is a sign of His creatorship. And here they're saying, we're going to glorify God. We're going to worship Him on Sunday. My brothers, they are taking everything that God has given to us to preach to the world in the final invitation, and they've twisted it around, and they're using that means by which to promote the counterfeit. Can we stay quiet? Can we really, honestly, be silent as people hear this and they say, well, maybe it's true. Maybe it is true. No, we can't. We cannot. Impossible. And then this next paragraph, I'm telling you, people who say that great controversy is not for this time, you know what? You just need to go educate yourself before you say such things.
Yep. Let me read.
Before you open your mouth to say that, just take 5 minutes and actually educate yourself as to what Ellen White has actually said and what is taking place in our world, because this news item here is a fulfillment of the book Great Controversy. Notice what they say here.
The Sabbath was made for us. It is a gift designed and ordered to our good. Let us find a way to embrace the gift, to take advantage of the temporal and eternal blessings of this weekly day of rest.
Now, they're not talking about the seventh day. Okay.
No, they're talking about Sunday.
And they're saying that Sunday has both temporal blessings and eternal blessings. That word temporal is it's not just by coincidence that they use that word, because that is a reference to the Pope's temporal power. The Pope, they believe, has a temporal power in this world. He lost the temporal power in 1798, but that wound is going to be healed. The temporal power, which means that they dictate to the kings what they need to do and how they need to do these things. So they're talking about a temporal blessing that comes from keeping Sunday, and then you talk about an inductive link. A leap. They actually jump to say there's eternal blessings by keeping Sunday. But that word temporal is talking about prosperity. And they're talking about a time of temporal prosperity when Rome is once again restored to all its former glory. And we have the law, we have the blue laws, we have the mark. Ellen White uses that exact same word to show that this is exactly what was going to be happening as prophecy becomes fulfilled.
Wow. Let's take a listen. There it is. GC 589 and 590. It will be declared that men are offending God by the violation of Sunday's Sabbath, that this sin has brought calamities which will not cease until Sunday observance shall be strictly enforced, and that those who present the claim of the fourth commandment, thus destroying reverence for Sunday, are troublers of the people, preventing their restoration to divine favor and temporal prosperity.
That's the exact language being used by Rome. They're talking about a restoration of temporal prosperity, temporal power. Ellen White says that's exactly what was going to happen. And it don't listen, make no mistake, my brothers and sisters, it's not just going to end by having a law that says you have to keep Sunday. It's not going to stop there. Ellen White goes further beyond in the prophetic scenario and tells us that, you know what, they're going to blame the commandment keepers, those who refuse to honor. So it's not going to stop with just passing of a law. They're going to try to forbid you from honoring the true Sabbath of the Lord. And we're going to be called the troublers of the people, preventing the reestablishment of divine favor and temporal prosperity.
You know,
Can it be any more clear than that, Pastor James? I mean,
it's ridiculous. It's a false claim. It's a lie, because in reality, what we are trying to do is to protect their liberty of conscience. They don't realize that the Sunday law is a violation of that liberty. It is going right back to the days of the Dark Ages. It's going right back to the child of the papacy. So it's a false accusation, just like they've done to Jesus. They call him a Sabbath breaker, a friend of sinners, a wine bibber, and so on, and if saying that he has a devil. So it's nothing new. They did it to Jesus, and if they have done it to the green tree, what shall be done to the dry? But the sad reality is the deception is so bad that the people who are trying to prevent liberty of conscience are gonna be seen as the one that are the evil of society. They're gonna have to say, just like they said to Jesus, it's better that one man should die than the whole nation to perish. You know, let's get rid of this group of people that are standing in the way of our temporal prosperity. And it's sad. John chapter 16 tells us that the time is coming, verses 1 and 2, that whosoever killeth you will think that he's doing God's service. That is crazy. How could you murder in the name of God? Well, some of the worst crimes ever taken place has been done in the name of God. So, yeah, it's sad, but that's just crazy, man. And that's not really what we are trying to do here at all. It's going to be so difficult to try to explain our position at this time, because we're going to be seen as the scapegoat. And the thing is, the mindset is already here. The mindset that Seventh-day Adventists are cult, troublers, heretic, that's already in the mind of many evangelicals. Many apostate Protestants think of Seventh-day Adventists as a negative label. So it's not going to be a difficult thing. It's an easy transition. They already see us as troublers. So when Sunday law comes, it's just going to only amplify the whole matter and the perception that they already have.
I would like to add to that part of the reason why they're going to want to destroy the troublers of prosperity, so-called, is because God's faithful people will not be silent during this time. In fact, Jesus says in John 7:7, he says this to his own brothers and sisters of the faith from his own family. He says, the world cannot hate you, but me it hates. It hates me because I testify that the works that they are doing, that what they have done is evil. Jesus spoke present truth. And when they impose the mark, you know what God's faithful people are going to be doing? They're not going to be quiet. God's faithful people are going to say, you are gravely mistaken Sunday is not the Lord's day. It never has been the Lord's day, and it never will be. It's actually the mark of the beast and the sign of papal apostasy, and it's going to lead to the 7 last plagues and the lake of fire. That's part of the reason why God's people will be hated, because we will be speaking truth in love. And just as Jesus did, he spoke truth in love. And you know what? They killed him because of that.